Hi, this is Julianne, and welcome to this quick tutorial on how to use the Maker's Gotta Make planner. This is just to give you an overview of how to use the different pages and add a little bit of background into why I created the planner. This planner will give you room to do 10 projects. And one of the reasons I created this planner is 10 projects may not seem like a lot, or it may seem like a whole bunch, but what I found in my own life was that if I didn't take a look at the big picture, like what did I want to make this year, you kind of lost track. So I really felt that this was helpful to have an idea of, okay, I do want to do some projects for different people. And this was a place to capture all the ideas. So you have 10 different projects and you can always, each page has a quick notes page. So you can jot down ideas about the project. So you might say, project number 1 is going to be for somebody's birthday. Maybe there's a big birthday coming up, or a graduation, something like that. This gives you a chance to kind of collect all your ideas in one spot for 10 different projects. So jumping to the very beginning, everything that when I create a planner, behind the cover, I create this quick notes page. So it's a chance for you to just jot down ideas. So you may not know which project, maybe it's just a random idea, or run to the store, or there's a great coupon deal somewhere. So this whole page is just an idea, just a place for you to grab a quick note, then maybe later you'll file it with a project. But I just found that this is just very helpful. So it's right behind the cover. You can just jump in quick and your home button will go to this page. So it gives you a chance just to quickly put down a note so you don't lose track of it. Also on this page, you have my email address. So you can email me anytime if you have questions about the planner, or you have some ideas, some things you want to share. I'd love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to use that button. It goes straight to me. A quick link to my Etsy shop, the website, and also I do a lot of how-tos, how to use your iPad, how to use quick notes, how to use just different ideas and things I've come up with. If you have my smoothie weight loss planners, you'll appreciate that there's always some tips in there that I'm experimenting with different things, so I share them in the how-to. So those are just some quick links for you on your quick notes page. So then we dive into the plan. Here's just a welcome letter from me. The plan is where you find this tutorial that you're watching right now. And then there's also just an overall idea. So I always want you to be kind of focused on the big picture. So you're always thinking about who you're creating for and what you're creating, and then come up with your supplies, getting your supplies, and then making sure you keep your eye on that timeline so that you get things done in time. Then you actually do the making. And then there's that final step. And this is one that people kind of leave out, is you produce something great. Make it, present it in a really cool, really wild way. So think about how you're going to wrap and package things. Think outside just the plain old box, plain old wrapping paper. Maybe you disguise it, maybe you put it into something, or maybe it's a surprise and you kind of leave it in the car. If it's an unexpected surprise on a birthday, maybe you kind of sneak it into the car so in the morning they see it, or you have someone sneak it into the car on their way home. Always come up with that delivery, because that's a big deal. The more you can do there, the more you can have some fun and really take your gift and spotlight it. So part of the plan has the work it. So this is kind of one of my secret tips. When you're going to actually create things, when you're doing that make like crazy thing, kind of come up with what is that perfect environment for you to really feel creative, to really do your best work. So do you have a playlist? Do you have a podcast? So create something. Is there a scent that makes you feel happy? I like to use citrus scents a lot, so that's one of the things that kind of perks me up. So this page is all about creating some of the things that make you the best maker possible. So items that you always want to have on hand, put them in a little toolbox. So if there's certain things that you do a lot of, maybe, for me, it's always having my iPad, having my charger, maybe having my microphone, but you might have different tools that you always want to have on hand. So put them together in a little toolbox. The adult beverage, always have something fun, whether it's tea, hot chocolate, coffee, or wine, or a hard seltzer, or whatever makes you tick. It's great to have some of these things on hand to keep you happy, upbeat, so it really comes out in your creation. This one's kind of fun. Are you more creative wearing certain clothes? Do you have your maker outfit? Maybe there's an apron that you really like, or you really like to be in your yoga pants and an empowering t-shirt. Always be aware of the things that's make you feel creative, make you connected to your goals, make you connected to maybe the person you're making it for. Maybe you want to have something close by that reminds you, maybe a coffee cup or something that was given to you by the person you're making a gift for. Think about what really helps you feel creative and connected to the project you're working on. And obviously other accessories, here's a chance for you to put in some other things. So as a maker, what are some of the things that you want to have on hand? What are the things that really help you do things? This planner is probably something that's going to be one of your accessories that you want to have close by because it gives you that high level view of your project. So that's in your work it. You'll find it right behind your plan. So here's your planner tab. So we'll just do some quick navigating so you can find it. So here's your plan tab. If you just scroll, there's your work it page where you can list some of your go-to items. Next is going to be your calendar tab. So here is the 2020 calendar. So you can always look at that when you refer to dates. So it's always good to know if you have a big birthday coming up somewhere here, you can always use something like your highlight tool. Switch to that and mark some of the important dates so that you are aware of what you're working towards. You can also write them out. So if you want to say, make sure there's a big wedding or something that you want to put down that you might not remember when you look at the calendar. Obviously, family birthdays probably jump out at you, but maybe some of the other things don't. So this is a chance for you to write down some important dates for the 2020 calendar. And that will help you. So as you're going through your projects, think about who you want to make for. So right now we're in the projects tab. Who do you want to make for? And then jot down some ideas, brainstorm ideas as they come up. You might want to say, okay, list your family members here, and then throughout the year be collecting ideas so when their birthday comes, you have that final idea already kind of thought about. So this is a collection page. You can always duplicate this page if you have a lot more people to make for, but it's a place for you to drop down some ideas. Who are you making for? What are you making? What's that final idea? What's the winning idea for each person? Sometimes you might have an idea and not the person. So again, use this page any way you want. And then your projects. Here are your 10 projects. They link to these 10 tabs. So write down the project, write down when you need to have it done, and who is it for or what event is it for. If it's for Christmas, if it's for a wedding, graduation, it will help you know when you need to have this project done by. So what's the project? When's it due? This is your high level view of your 10 projects. So again, you might have this part filled out, but not actually started the projects yet. So this just gives you, again, that high level view so you don't lose track. And that's what I was finding is, I had an idea for a project and I never captured the idea. So at least I could write it down and then later decide who would be perfect for. Or maybe I had like 4 or 5 ideas that just came up for this person, but I wasn't sure which one I was going to do. But at least I can collect them in one spot and then decide, okay, this is the project. Now, when am I going to do it? I felt that, I'd come up with ideas and maybe a lot of them were kind of end of the year because I have a lot of October birthdays and Christmas. And so I have some ideas, but if I didn't capture this big picture of what I was going to do and when I was going to do it, I would find that all of a sudden it was October, November, and I just didn't have time to do these projects. So by doing it here, I can balance out my year. If I know I have a lot of October birthdays, doesn't mean I can't start them some other time when I have the idea and have the time. So this gives you that big level view. So now you have this page is it's in your projects tab, and you can paste it in anywhere you want to. So you can paste it into your calendar. So you can just add the page into different places and then maneuver it, move it around. If you use your thumbnails, you can take a page and move it around. So you can always do this, add page before, after, duplicate, and then you can select it, drag it around, select it, move it around. So I don't want to change our order here, but this page you can duplicate and stick anywhere you want as you're working along. And then you have a general notes page. So these are all in the projects tab. You have your projects list, you have a weekly to do, and a notes page that you can insert anywhere you want. And there's also stickers. So on this notes page, you can use a dot grid if you want to. You can use a blank line page. So I made those as stickers so you can paste them in anywhere you want to put them in any size you want. So you could have half line page, half dot grid this way, line page this way, or all lined page, all dot grid. So I really wanted to leave that up to you. So I created them as stickers so you can paste them in. So now we're going to go into our actual projects. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. They're obvious. I made it really big, really obvious, so you know what project you're working on. And also as you go through, the project is repeated up here so you don't lose track. Since the pages look the same, I wanted you to know clearly what project you're on. So when it goes to 5, you'll see that over here it's listed so you know exactly what project you're working on. You don't get confused from one project to the other. You click on any of these to get to the project. So you have your quick notes page. Then you have your supplies. What do you need to make your project and how much of it do you need? What do you already have? What do you need to get? Very basic, but it keeps you organized. That's the whole point of this planner, is to keep you organized so you're focused on making stuff and you don't find out later that you don't have what you need. Shopping. What do you need to buy? Where are you going to find it? And the all important, what deals are out there? So, you know Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, they all have their coupons. So what are you going to buy? And this helps you plan it out so that if you know the big picture, if you even know all the projects you're doing for the year, you can do bulk buys, you can use your coupons to the best effects. When you know you need paper and you see a great deal on paper, but it's for 3 different projects, you can really take advantage of the coupons and the deals when you have that big picture in your mind of what you might make throughout the year, even if you're not ready to make certain things, but you know what's coming up. And then the cost, what is the final cost for your project? It's always just good to know what each project is costing you, and it's a little bit hard, obviously, if you buy a big pack of paper and there's 100 sheets and you only use 2, you could do the math, break it down, what are those 2 sheets costing you, and put it in here. And then your timeline. This is big, so what are your steps? I gave you room for 9 steps. You can always duplicate this page. What is step 1? Get your supplies. Step 2, spend an hour making the first draft. Step 3, I don't know what your steps are because it's your project, but when do you want to start it? When do you want to finish by? When's this overall due date? So by the time you hit that last step, when do you want to have this project finished? So how much time do you have to make your creation? How many weeks do you have to work with it? And then put that end date in here and work backwards. So if you have 8 weeks, then here you might put your end date, and each step is 1 week. What do you want to accomplish in each week? And then again, remember, you can go back here quickly to your weeks and decide, okay, if I have 8 weeks, week 1, what am I going to do? Week 2, what am I going to do? So that will help you stay on track and work on your projects. So you have your supplies, your shopping, your timeline, and then you're into your next project. So this will give you a chance, again, drop those note pages in anywhere you need them. So go to projects, drop the note pages in, and drop the weekly to-dos into any of your projects to help you stay on track. So some projects might be quick and you do them in a week. Other projects might take multiple weeks. So just keep pasting the pages in and you can get them quickly, again, just by jumping to the project that you're working on. And you can always, don't be shy about writing in. I hate my handwriting, so we'll use the typing tool, but you can write your the name of your project right here. You can handwrite it, do whatever you want. So you don't have to go by project 8. You can actually name the project, but it just gives you a chance to quickly see what tab you're on so you don't lose track of where you are in your planner. So that's it. That's how to use your planner. And I hope that you get out there and you start making some great projects. So I'll see you next time.